the chilling incident of a plane crash on the Andes mountain peak. In order to survive, the survivors had to resort to using their relatives and friends as live food. On October 12, 1972, flight number F227D took off from Catque Airport in Uruguay carrying 45 passengers, including 19 members of a rugby club along with their families and supporters, heading to Santiago to meet with the opposing team. Due to bad weather, they had to overnight in Mendoza, Argentina, and resumed the journey on the afternoon of October 13. As the plane flew over the majestic Andes mountain range, known as the longest in the world, a horrific accident occurred due to a moment of carelessness by the co-pilot amidst the bad weather. Mistaking that they had already passed the Andes and were over the territory of Chile's airports, the co-pilot informed the control tower and proactively descended to lower altitude. However, shortly after, Captain Lager realized they were still facing a towering mountain range and attempted to increase altitude to pass over it. Due to the close proximity, the plane carrying 45 passengers collided with the mountain slope, shearing off both wings and the tail section, with the remaining fuselage sliding down a snow-covered river at an estimated speed of up to 350 km per hour before crashing into a snowbank. The immediate aftermath resulted in 12 fatalities, with 5 others succumbing the next morning. The remaining survivors, besides being injured, had to endure the freezing cold of -30 degrees without warm clothing, some resorting to splinting broken bones with aircraft debris and enduring excruciating pain day after day. Waiting for rescue after the plane crash, the nearby country sent several planes to search for the crashed plane. However, it was challenging to spot the white plane amidst the snow mountain peak from above, and the search had to be halted after the 8th day at the crash site. Another person passed away due to severe injuries. Among the surviving passengers, some students found a handheld radio. By the 11th day, they were desperate upon hearing that the search was called off, with very little food remaining. They found 8 chocolate bars, 3 small cans of milk, a box of raisins, a bit of tea, a bit of dried plum, and a few bottles of liquor. They shared these provisions evenly among the survivors, but even with rationing, it only lasted a week. They also figured out a way to melt snow into drinking water. Additionally, they had no plants or animals around. In their hunger, they had to resort to eating bits of the cushion, even leather from the seats, belts, and shoe soles. When all supplies were depleted, it's possible to eat both the heart and even the brain when starving, but the difficulty didn't stop there. On the 17th day, an avalanche attacked the airplane while the survivors were sleeping. The avalanche buried the entire plane, leaving only a 1-meter gap for breathing. Those trapped inside quickly realized they were running out of air. One of them desperately tried to use one of the windshields in the cockpit to let in fresh air. On the morning of October 31st, they managed to dig an escape tunnel but faced another snowstorm, forcing them to crawl back to the plane in despair. It was not just one disaster but a series of continuous disasters, as if a higher power was testing the survivors. Will they overcome this ordeal? How many will ultimately survive? Stay tuned for part 2 tomorrow on the channel.